Alright, I think we're gonna need some 2x4s, maybe some zip ties, maybe some springs, definitely an old US Army foam bed pad, maybe some screws, nails, chewing gum, sticky tack, old spider webs. I mean, we've got it all here. Oh yeah, welcome back to Ringworm 2. The worm loves you, don't forget, just for making it this far in the video. It's been raining for like a week straight. Just a nice slow mist, which is, you know, exactly what you'd expect to be in way northern Michigan in the middle of winter. Our feet of snow is turning into puddles and slop and squish. Not too great. There was 2 feet of snow on this pile of logs here a week ago. Oh yeah, and check out the tent platform. That sucker was thick and there's nothing on it now. It's alright, I'll stop bitching. I mean, you know, when you're stuck inside a nice little cabin and you've got a bunch of tattoo stuff, you can just spend a ton of time working on your hobby. It's unfortunate that YouTube videos have thumbnails and titles, because it'd be more fun if you had no idea what you were watching right now. I've been needing to do this little project since I got that couch, so if you guys remember, whenever I finished the cabin less than a year ago, there's nothing in there to sit on. I haven't had anything comfortable to sit on since I moved out here, so it was like 3 years of sitting on tree stumps and camp chairs. So I got a couch, and it's not the nicest couch. Anyway, let's grab some junk and then we'll go look at it. I think we got all the junk we need in here, wherever it is. Oh, it's right. Excuse me. I've slowly been saving things to fix this couch. Wow, that sucker's really hard. Oh, it's probably because it's cold. For $4 or $5, I got a military surplus bed pad. Man, whoever's sleeping on that is not old fat men. Definitely only a kid could sleep on that thing. But it's blemished and got bad spots, so I think I got it for like $4. I also got some batting. I don't know if you've ever used batting. Batting's like around cushions and stuff. You'd have like a foam core in your cushion, and then they'd wrap this usually cotton or polyester fluffy stuff over it just to make the cushion cover, you know, pull tight. It doesn't really have a whole lot of purpose other than looks, because it just gets squished down really fast, but we've got it. This is a rather odd video to make, you know, for a channel that's all about camping and living in the woods and building cabins and running chainsaws, but you know, I've been locked in the cabin for like a week and I start getting the shakes. If I can't make some kind of video, I'll start tattooing my own forehead. Gotta make some weird videos every now and then, keep you people on your toes. You all know that I'm never ever trying to teach anybody anything, but I thought this video, like a few I've made before, are just good examples of how it's totally fine to try this stuff on your own. Anything you own, anything in your house, you're allowed to rip apart and try to make better. You might make it worse, but you'll learn something in it. It might even be fun. Actually, if it's not fun, if you start ripping into something and you're not having a good time, don't do it. I don't know if I ever said anything about getting this couch. I don't think I did, but you might have saw a video right after the cabin was almost finished of Tito and I dragging this in on the, I think it's on the 4-wheeler trailer. I'm pretty sure that in my entire life I've never bought a piece of furniture until I bought this. I don't know if it's like a lot of other things, you know, you need a lot of practice and you get good at it. I wasn't good at it. I was looking for something that would only fit 2 people, as small as possible, this way and this way, that you can put your feet up with a lever. Like every couch these days has freaking buttons on it. I don't really understand why they don't make more off-grid love seats. I'm not even 100% sure this is leather. I kind of wanted leather because I'm still trying to get a dog. The puppy that I thought I'd had a year ago, over a year ago, fell through, but hopefully, I'm not saying for sure, but hopefully this spring there'll be a little creep around here. So I just wanted something that you could wipe off, that was already a dirty color, and that wasn't very expensive, and this was not very expensive. They had it marked at like $60,000, marked down to $32. So it made me feel like I was getting a great deal. But in less than a year or whatever, the thing's already pretty well broken in. And I don't mean that in a good way. I always have to sit on this side because my mouse can go here and I've got power there. Can't really use that. Can you see how much this is already smooshed in here compared to this? And also, nice and firm, very squishy. Yeah, it's like sitting in a hole, actually. Usually I have to use one of these stadium cushions so I'm not sitting on the floor. And then the one final thing, just because of the fantastic back that I have to have like support of my lower back. So I think I jammed a 2x4 in here. Let's take this thing apart and see. You can do this to your own couch. If something doesn't feel right, pull some stuffing out, put stuff in there, shape it to your ass, put some Jell-O. You can do whatever you want. I can only imagine what's living underneath here. Probably needs a good vacuum. Oh, looks like I've had this idea before. Must have bought another butt pad just to stick in there. Well, we'll use that too. Ooh, yeah, that's freaking gross. Wow. Is that weird that there's not a single nickel or dime, no change underneath here? Yeah, there are very few uses for cash out here in the woods. Looks like the goose down from half of my sleeping bag is down. It is amazing how complex the mechanics are of a simple chair that just raises the legs. Well, I guess it lets you tip back too. Did you ever really look at something like this? Look at how complex that mechanism is. I hear you. Ryan, you're looking at the bottom of a dirty couch. Is it really that incredible? I think it is. And it's also very weird. Like, for instance, why is there a piece of sponge inside each of the springs? Doesn't keep it from vibrating. Yeah, look at that. It's got two pieces in it. Some things we might never know. So let's see, your butt sits about right here. Yeah, we could tie all those back. Get a pad or something inside there. That would give you more butt support. And then how about the back? This thing, I think, is what I took apart before just to look inside. Yep. See, there's a nice chunk of pine. Oh, and a placemat. All right. Well, we need to jack that up a little bit more too. Might have to do some wood carving. What was that just fell in there? Oh, I'm going to blame this on Sarah. She was the one eating Chex Mix on here a month or two ago. Then again, it's on my side. This thing should be full of popcorn. I drop so much damn popcorn when I'm eating it, watching movies. I wouldn't mind even a little more back support. So maybe we find something a little wider. Round this, round that, kind of round the ends off and make it full width. That'd be nice. And I guess we can just leave that placemat in there. Doesn't look like it's hurting anything. I think we got to get a saw out just so we can say we made a couch more comfortable with a chainsaw. Let's see how much difference that made pulling my chunk of wood out there. Oh, huge difference. I'm not overdoing this, but my butt's all the way back and you're like hunched all the way forward like that. No support. Partially because all the batting right there is gone too. Yeah, we can fix that. You kind of think it wouldn't be too comfortable to have a chunk of wood behind your back, but I find this thing, when I tip it forward and put the little kickstand down, really comfortable. And this thing will still have a fair amount of cushion on the outside of the board. God, isn't that an ugly couch? It's so ugly. I just can't believe anybody would choose a couch like that from all the couches in the world. Once I started building the cabin, every now and then I go by a furniture place. Places I've passed for years and never even noticed they're there because I've never bought furniture. I go by, I'd stop in, walk in the door. What can I help you with? I'm looking for a small love seat that's neutral color, doesn't use electricity, but both sides recline. Do you have it? Nope, we don't have it. All these places I went to, and then this one place I walked into, she said, "Oh yeah, we got something. It's brown. Is that okay?" "Yep, that's great. I'll take it." "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Is it all those things? Are those 4 or 5 things?" "Yeah, it is." "Okay, I want it." And she wrote me up. She said, "I've had this shop for decades. That's the fastest I've ever sold a piece of furniture." I was like, "Well, yeah, that's because I'm not well trained in buying furniture. I don't. What else are you supposed to do?" Just walking out the door. See Mr. Deer? He's been around here quite a bit lately. I was a little hesitant to go take a shower last night because he was sleeping right in front of the shower. You hear me talking? You're not afraid at all, huh? Nope. Oh, there he goes. Come back whenever you like. The heater's on. I'd normally just carve something out of a log, but I don't know if I want to put wet lumber in the back of the couch. I can imagine something weird growing there. See if we got something in the scrap pile here. Oh. Remember this chunk? I think this was in like last week's video or the week before. That's the leftover piece from the back of the bunk in the man cave. Might be long enough. Found an even better piece. Nice and dry. I think it must be pine, although it's heavy for pine. I'm guessing pine though because of the hole here. You can see where the bug was inside. It doesn't usually happen to the other species quite like that. I think this will work. So what was in there was a 1.5 inch. This looks like 2 inch. That's good. And I measured that it needed to be about 16. It's only 14. I think that'll work. I'm kind of thinking we just take some of the edge off like that on either end. And then maybe we do the same here. We just knock all the corners off. That should be easy enough. Only thing that's difficult about doing stuff like this with a chainsaw is holding onto the board. I guess maybe we could get some dogs in it. Oh, shot water. Nasty water right in my eyes. I don't know if that's going to be enough space. No, probably not. Probably end up digging the chain. This goes to the springs. This goes to the couch. Let's see, out of curiosity, how old and wet this wood is. Not too bad, 18%. That's not too wet I can't stick it in the couch. And it's not too wet that I can't run the grinder over here without gumming up the disc. This is one of the nicer pine pillows I've ever made. Looks pretty nice, right? Looks like it'd be comfy. Let's go jam it in there, see if it works, and then maybe I could sand it with a pad sander a little bit, just so this doesn't snag stuff in the chair. I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't know. It's gonna fit. It's gonna fit. I'm gonna do it. see if she fits. Yeah, it could have been a little wider, a little longer. Well, it's still a lot more than what was in there. And the piece that was in there was fine, so it should be even a little better. Yeah, that's some good back support right there. I don't know how high it'll need to be. We'll have to put something in here to connect it to those. What do you call that? A spring, I guess? I'll just leave it for now and figure out the bottom. Well, I guess we're going to do foam of some sort here. Unfortunately, I just measured it, and the butt is about here to here. So this thing, I don't know what that is, a wire? It's going to be kind of in the way. Is this too sharp? Let's try that. Do a little bow line right there. Well, that's not going to work either because we still got to be able to fit something from there to there. This is going to be a beast to get in there. I wish I could take these spring things off, but they're kind of... Oh. Haha. They're not permanently installed. These little metal things look like they were crimped around there, but they're just like a loop. Probably gonna wish I had gloves on. Oh wow. Almost immovable. Wow. Huh. If I do get them off of there, I wonder if I'd ever get them back on. What would be the right tool for a job like that? We need some kind of like a metal bar or something. Yeah, like the barrel of that 22. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. God, you guys get so worried all the time. I'll go find some... Wait a minute. What about this? A foot from the fold-out bed. Ooh, the one with all the 22s in it. Nope. Not quite. I bet this is the tool. I found so many uses for this. This is the tubing that was the frame for my camp chair that I used for 15, 20 years or something. I think it might have been on video when I finally broke through the seat. But any of these long pieces that didn't have holes drilled in them, I cut it off with a hacksaw and just threw it in my pile of extra stuff. My couch taker aparter tools. I'm thinking we can wedge it somewhere right there. Let's see. Holy cow, that takes a lot of force. Yep. Oh, that's why they're that shape. I was kind of wondering how they kept the force up there without just caving in. Look at how much sprang that has to it. God, I gotta put gloves on. I'm gonna get cut so bad. I've been wearing thin single layer work gloves for 90% of the time that I've been awake since I moved out here. And that's why I haven't gotten any stitches yet. Which is a little bit of a bummer because I want to do stitches and I'd be happy to do them on myself. Let's just hope I can get these back on there. Holy. Jeez. They got some serious memory to them. That's gonna work. We can get something under there now. Let's try this guy to start. It's got some good response to it. Is that what they call it? Let's do about 14. Working on bugs right now. I don't know if you can see any of that. Haven't done the color on a couple of them, but they're fun tattoos to do. I do like doing this, but I gotta admit, I just want to do that all day, every day. I think I still need my rope to pull that back. God, those springs are strong. Ow, ow, ow. Jeez, those little clips got some edges. Where are my gloves? Where'd you put my gloves? I think that's pretty close. Let's try that. You know, if this thing wasn't quite enough, it's about the same thickness. I think we're gonna need some bed pad, don't you? Just one strip we'll start with. Should probably just go grab a square, but I really don't want to put my boots on again to go out there. Yeah, God, I wouldn't want to sleep on that. All right, that might work. Think we can get those springs back in there? Whoa, that's why you got gloves on. Yeah, one. There's a technique, I'm sure. Anybody know what it is? Is it just jam your fingers in there and hope for the best? Yep. 2, 3. Alright, let's see if that sits before we make it quasi-permanent. I know it's a little bit gross to point out my butt print here, but see how it's pooched up now? Just like, actually maybe a little higher than before. Alright, let's try it. Oh, wow. Wow. That's much more firmer. Holy schmoly, that's great. Actually sitting on the couch instead of in the couch. Geez, that might actually be a little bit too much. I don't know, I think we'll go with that. The chainsaw made lumbar support is really nice. Oh yeah, it feels great on the lower back. It's just in the right spot too, right down low where you need it. And there's still enough poof here, I can't quite tell exactly where it is, but I think it's right down low there. Of course, a lot of this stuff you can slide around too. If this ends up being too much, which I kind of doubt it will. I can pull one of those out or slide it back. I think it's great. I think we did good work here. Oh, that's nice. One more test. Oh, killer. Oh, great back support. Great back support. Well, this cheapo couch will continue to break down. The cheapo batting and whatnot, but we can keep fixing it up if we need to. You know, there's only one other thing that I don't actually know how to fix. This, because this couch had to be so small to fit in here, the leg lifter holder upper is not long enough, which doesn't seem like a big deal, and it's not. None of this is a big deal, but you can't sit with your legs out too long if all the support is right there in your calf muscle. It'd be kind of cool to make something that flipped out extra and actually held your feet up. If you think that's a ridiculous privileged thing to need, it is, but try putting your legs up sometime and just support them right here and see how long it feels good. You could make something that went on here when you were just sitting, wouldn't hit the backs of your feet, and then when you flipped it up, boink, it then went whoop. That would take a considerable amount of engineering, and it'd probably take metal. I don't think I could do it with wood, and I just don't have that much metalworking stuff out here. I will tell you a little trick though. You know, if you made something like that, added it on, you kind of want it to match the rest of the couch. And there's always plenty of extra material on anything like this. Like, when are you ever going to see the back of this couch? Never, unless you pull it out and you're doing something back there. You've got 2 huge sheets of material back there that match this perfectly. So you can take one of those off to make this. There's also, every time they wrap material under the bottom, they often wrap it up way too far, or there's spots that you'll never see. You can cut strips out. Like if you ever get a hole in something, or a wear spot, or a dog ate something off, you can cut a piece out of the bottom of the couch and put it on there. All right, let's attach that pine back support. I'm gonna do something that's not too permanent here, so I'm just gonna put a couple staples in here. Yeah, I actually don't think this is gonna work. I mean, it's not meant to hold it there, just to keep it from sliding out the bottom. I probably should use longer staples. Could also put some screws in there with some big fender washers. Yeah, I think these are gonna pull out. Yep. Okay, I'll go find some screws. I mean, I'm sure there's some of you that do this all the time would know exactly the right way to put this together. Does your back hurt? You're gonna need a chainsaw and some fender washers. Obviously. Hopefully those don't go all the way through to my back. I don't think they will. I don't think I need more than that. That's not going to go anywhere. Does that still fit? Just barely. I don't know what that's supposed to do. Oh, no, it hits my lumbar support. See, there's an example of something we don't need. And this, what if you didn't have this on your couch? It'd be just fine. Guess unless it's out in the middle of the room or something. Perfect. Gotta find those holes we drilled in the floor. Where are they? Right there, see? Get the couch back in the same spot every time. One other thing I see that's worn out. See how much worner this is than this? I swear I don't sit on this couch that much that I'd break it down in a year. Oh, it feels so good. The couch, again, is way too small, so this thing hits me right in the shoulder blades instead of probably supposed to be like that. So I don't mind that being worn out. However, if you ever had to, I bet, yep. See right here, there's a little zipper. Let's see what's inside this. Wow, it's all just a big smooshed in there ball of this polyfill stuff. Not the expensive way to make a couch. It's good enough for us though. So yeah, if you ever have a couch that gets worn out like that anywhere, just take it apart. Get yourself a bag of this stuff. This would be perfect. I think this is actually sheets. You could just take this stuff and push it right in the back. It would work fine. And actually, sometimes the cheapest way to get this stuff is to buy really cheap pillows. Cut it open, just pull the fill out and jam it in. This is like half a pillow worth of fill. Even at a cheap store, I think this was like $8 or something. You could get a pillow for less than that. They just like to overcharge us crafty folk. You ever get sidetracked? Yeah, that's the thing, is I don't either. What do you mean it's the next day? I don't think that's possible. Oh yeah, you're right. Well, why don't you guys just go wait outside for a few minutes. I'll figure out what's going on and what the score is, and we'll get back together. Oh. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. What? Don't look at me like that. I don't know why the camera's all fogged up. Yeah, remember way back, what was that, maybe 15 seconds ago when I said I got sidetracked? Wait, no, I didn't admit to that. Well, I did, and I just got sidetracked again. Whoops. Sheesh, looks like y'all need a sauna. I don't know if this is a good idea, but let's try it. Let's go ahead and warm you up a little bit. Here's a little weird life tip for you. Whenever I'm cold, that's when I clean in here. I was kind of chilled after standing out there for 30-40 minutes. Come in, put my stuff away, and immediately vacuum. I'm nice and toasty. That's free. You can have that. Got a little treat for a few of you. For those of you that are only watching this video to see some moron fix his couch, now's the time for you to click away. Find a nice cat video, watch somebody get hit in the crotch by a rake or whatever you're into. I feel kind of bad because some of you that donate on Patreon just barely missed the cutoff on the last table carving. And of course, it's probably going to be a few more months before we get around to doing that, once the weather permits. So, thought we'd do a little something. This, of course, has become my newest, greatest, most funnest winter cabin hobby. I've just been practicing making straight lines, just black line stuff, and I thought, what better way to practice than to take everybody that is going to eventually be carved on the table, basically through the end of last year, through December 31st. I'm going to tattoo your names for practice. What do you think of that? I put you all on the computer and changed the font and size on every name, so I have all this practice. What are there, maybe 20 people there? Let's see, where should we tattoo you? I think we should put you on the very first tattoo sheet with the axe and the chainsaw. We'll jam all you in there. Downside, I don't know if anybody cares about this. Actually, I think you probably don't, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This cheap stuff that I got for tattooing was like $2 a sheet or something like that. 20 bucks for 10 sheets. I don't know what it was. It was kind of a pain. I thought I really sucked at making straight lines and getting stuff nice and dark. But I did have one sheet of the good stuff. It cost about 10 times as much. Holy cow. Did I show you this on one of them? Look at the difference. See how this swings? It's like a sheet of rubber. Look at this. It's the weirdest stuff, and it's crazy fun to tattoo on. Problem is, I don't have any more of that right now, so we're going to do it on this stuff. We'll at least get the shapes right. I would still say it was completely worth buying that $60 everything in it tattoo kit off Amazon, because it was really fun just to see if I like doing this. But basically nothing in that kit was any good. I'm slowly replacing all of it, and the first thing that was well worth the money, this cost as much as the entire tattoo kit, is just a pack of stencil paper. Remember how hard it was for me to get a stencil to work? I thought it was the surface I was writing on. Wasn't the surface, wasn't the pen, it was the stencil paper. Sarah, being the artist, told me that if you have a printer, you can print out an original stencil right on this without using the see-through piece, and then use this to stick onto the tattoo. Not sure how well I'm going to be able to ink out these the thickness of these, but let's give it a go. Ooh, yeah, these are going to be sloppy. There must be a better way. It's not too bad. Jeez. Some of these fonts are a lot easier to trace than others. I gotta say, Will, not a good font. It's gonna be fun, but it was not easy. Frank here, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nice big block letters. This is how you learn. Try them all, see what works. All right, did we get them all? Yeah, looks pretty good. Could be worse, I suppose. I think the coolest part is the carbon paper, really. Eric, you're a little out of line, buddy. Yeah, doesn't the tracing look cool there and there? Even some of those. Clean that guy off a little bit. Here's another thing I got. Instead of speed stick, stencil stuff made for just for putting this stuff on. And if you do it nice and thin, seems to work quite well. As long as there aren't globs of it. It seems to make a quite nice stencil that basically never comes off this stuff, which I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess if you were doing it on a human, eventually the stencil would come off. If you put too much of that stencil stuff on there and it's globby, then the stencils all blob out. Those are all pretty good, really. And just got to give it about 8 days to dry. We've got a heater. We put everything on the heater to dry out. The most fun one to do so far has to be this. And I think it's because it was really complex and there's a little bit of color in it. It's just weird. Like, this kind of art is not something I just never would have thought anything of it, but because that was so fun, found some more online. Freaky women heads. Those will be fun, and they all have some color in them. I think they're all just like one color in black. I've never been really into art. I've never done any art on my own, but I think the fact that you get to use a little machine in your hand, that was enough to get me interested in this. And I could totally see how this would suck you into wanting to do art, like drawing or painting or whatever. I don't think I'll ever do those things, but I'm way more interested in the design and the artistic element than I ever thought I'd be. Let's use up this garbagey black ink that came with the kit. Ooh, look at that. It's like syrup. Eesh. Ooh, nice and hot. That's good stuff right there. Put a little bit of Vaseline on that to keep the stencil from wiping off. Wow, look at that. Just melts right in. Maybe that's the new thing. Hot stencils. Yeah, that worked great. Jeez, didn't wipe off at all. Needle might be a little big for some of these small ones, but I don't think I'm going to switch them out. It's really fun. Really fun. However, using this crapo fake skin brings it down about 6 notches. It is so hard to make it look good. We don't care. Now we don't care. I'll just shut up. Shut up and tattoo, man. It also doesn't help that I've been using the same needle cartridges for about a week straight. Instead of being a nice packed bunch of needles like that, it's about like this now. Should probably just throw down the 75 cents and open a new one. Nah. Which font do you like best? I kind of like this guy and this guy just just because they're bigger than the rest. Those are really way too small to tattoo the way I was doing it with those needles. Yep, good stuff. That was a good warm-up for coloring and butterflies. Where the heck did my butterflies go? Aha. Yep, those are the ones. Well, I won't keep you any longer. You've got those cat videos to watch. You go right ahead. Appreciate everybody that supports me being out here. You already know that. Thanks for donating on Patreon and PayPal and all that stuff. You absolutely blow my mind. Thank you. Thanks for everybody that watches. I mean, if you watch, I get to stay out here and do this idiotic stuff, so you're the best. Catch you next week. I think, I know at least Sarah's coming up for a few days. Tito might. He's been sick. That dude's just sick all the time. I mean, clearly, just looking at him, you can tell he's a sick dude. Yeah, anyway. See you next week.